Hey everybody, it's the Walker. So what are we doing today? Well, today I'm hiking in the woods. And it's getting a little cold, which is good news because I'm hoping for some snow. Because I really need some snow. And I'm using an alcohol stove because I don't have a lot of time. I don't feel like gathering up twigs. I don't feel like starting a fire or anything like that. This particular alcohol stove, I believe the name is the Turbo 2D Brasslite. I got this, maybe 10 years ago. The company, small little company, run by this person. His name is Aaron. I forget the person's last name. I think he hand makes these. We'll look at the stove a little bit more in a second. Anyways, like years ago, I was on this alcohol stove binge. I was always hanging out on Zen Stove. If that website's still around, I'll put up a link to them. And I was building stoves, and it's fun, you know. And then I kind of got tired of building alcohol stoves. And one of the stoves that I found online was this one, and it's a chimney type stove. So I ordered it, and I used the heck out of it. Then one day on the Appalachian Trail, I stepped right on it. I mean, bam! I mean, just, pounded that thing. And I bent it all to heck. And in a rage, I just tossed it in the woods. Yeah, I know I shouldn't litter, but hey, I was like, yeah. And then whoosh, it's gone. Just like that, I didn't have it. So, I don't know how many years ago. Maybe 3. Could even be 4 at this point, I forget. They had a scratch and dent sale. So I just had to, it was like cheap, so I just had to get one. I got it, used it a few times, actually more than a few times, maybe I lost track. So I used it a bit, but then I got into like wood hobo stoves and things like that. So I figured, hey, let's crack it out, again, kind of like a rediscovery after, oh gosh. Here's a stove. It's your basic chimney design alcohol stove. The combustion flames that happen right here. I believe these are stainless steel pot support type thing. And the height looks just about right. Let's do a pot on me here. They actually sell a wider pot support for larger pots. I never got that though. The fuel's dumped in here. There's a priming tray. You then ignite it. The air flows in through these holes. And vents here. And there's a double wall you can see right there. Pretty simple, straightforward. This is made, near as I can tell, this is made out of brass and stainless steel. I don't know if the current ones are still a brass stainless steel. At least I think this is stainless steel because it's never rusted on me. Combo. I'll put up, of course, the link to the company. I'll put up the weights and all that information. This particular ring here controls the air inlet and the burn rate. It's not a precise science. The reason being, well, a couple reasons. One, once the stove gets going, a side note, I've never saw the scratch and dent that made this stove on sale for the scratch and dent sale. So I don't know what the problem was, but it seems just like my previous one. Okay, the thing is, you have to decide before you start running the stove how fast you want it to go. So once it's going, you're not really going to be able to, at least I cannot really adjust it. So you kind of have to make the decision starting right off the bat. So that's one thing to consider with this design. And that's the story of my Brasslite Turbo 2D and a little background information on the stove. You know what I think we'll do? Let's cook that bacon and eggs. It's getting a little windy, it's getting a little cold, and it'd be kind of nice. Wind is a negative for alcohol stoves, so we'll see what influence that has on the entire cooking process. I'll put it so, in my opinion, it's kind of halfway. Remove any. This ground is frozen solid. Here's where being a little sloppy. Dumping the fuel, it's going to be a net benefit. You know, it's going to help me prime the stove. As always with alcohol stoves, move the fuel bottle far away. There we go. Makes a nice hand warmer. Whoa. There's combustion going through the chimney right now. It's highly unlikely, very unlikely you can see that. It's one reason why you have to really make sure alcohol stoves are out, especially if you're using during the daytime. If you try to add more fuel, you run the risk of having the whole bottle go up. Now we'll wait a minute. You're definitely going. Do up a little windscreen for the pot here. Help us along. Bacon's about done. We'll put it in this lid right here. I'll save a bit of the grease, cook the eggs in. I dumped out most of it. Oop. Maybe I should get that bigger butt support. We're done with fuel to spare. There's a little bit left. Use it to warm up my hands for a second. Let's try it. Definitely did the job. The sacred bacon. Wow. Now, we'll refuel. We'll try some tea. This is the standard when it comes to refueling alcohol stove. It's in my hands. It's out. Looking at it, that's not the standard. Maybe I put in 10 ounces. Just started it. We'll let it go for a few more seconds to see what we get for a rolling boil. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. So I think stop. So we're gonna say let's say 8 minutes. Somebody recommended this for an oven mitt. Let's see how it works. For those who questioned it, yeah, from the last video, it did a good job as a little oven mitt. Still plenty of fuel, which we're going to use to warm up these cold hands. The Brasslite worked pretty good. I think I might start packing it some more. I have an entire bin full of stoves, and some of the stoves, well, they stayed dormant for years. This one did a pretty good job. Another use I have for alcohol stoves is as a backup burner for twig stoves. When the weather's so awful, I don't want to go out and forage twigs. I'll put up a link to that video as well. If you take away anything from all this, when it's cool enough to pick up, the stove is out. Just because if it's on the ground, if you go near it, it's too hot, but it looks out, no. The standard is, this is out. Also, carry a windscreen. for an alcohol stove. Today it's windy out, it's cold. I don't think I would have been able to cook that bacon and eggs. I might not even got a boil, maybe just a simmer without this windscreen. So definitely aluminum flashing windscreen or whatever you want to do, take it with an alcohol stove. Or in many cases, you can use the body of the twig stove as a windscreen, but that's a different matter. Okay, if you like what you've seen, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.